We live?
Let me check. Here go the jiggly. No, we are not live.
That's cringe.
I know, right? Oh, we're live. We're live.
Okay. Good
We're playing
morning,
Shadows
ladies.
of the Forbidden Gods.
I'm changing the name. I haven't figured out how to change it on the OBS. Not OBS. I mean, OBS. OBS. Yeah.
No, creepy. The Twitch thing says that you're playing Shadow of the Forbidden
I know.
Gods.
I can't
I
change
think.
the name on here yet.
Ah.
I haven't figured out how to do that, so I'm gonna go change it on Twitch real quick.
Ooh.
Don't worry. I heard you. I heard you. The first time. Don't worry.
Breaking news: Creep isn't actually deaf.
I know it's shocking. Save. What do you mean it may? What do you mean this violates your Twitch? What do you, I'm reading a book. What? Why does that?
What the hell is Twitch saying?
Creeping.
Oh, hey, it's Lego.
Creeping. It's my notification. Creeps be creeping is no longer allowed. Uh,
Have you tried Creeps be creeping?
hang on. It's walking silently.
Look, you clearly just need to rebrand to a channel about crepes. At this point.
I think it's the word creeps, but that's my name. That's my channel's name. What do you want,
Yeah,
Twitch?
you need to rebrand to a channel about fucking crepes.
But I don't want to fuck a pastry. Okay, ladies and gents, I hate this. Creeps is no longer allowed on Twitch. Let me do crepes. Is crepes allowed? Yeah. Okay, Twitch. Okay. What are you gonna make me change my name soon? Is that next? Huh? Huh? Twitch has been real
I mean,
silent.
I
Why is
I will
Sen's server
volunteer.
muted? There you go, Sen.
I don't know. I will volunteer to put the crepe space onto a crepe if it comes down to it. I will volunteer to do that.
I joined here. Ah, right, because of summer. I don't want to fuck I don't want to fuck a pastry. I really don't. It's not on brand. Think of all the viewers. Yeah, they did. Everyone's in voice chat. It's great. Oh, Scarlet O'Scare is streaming. Radical. They're awesome. They are playing Smite right now. If you don't want to see me read a book and you'd like to watch the video game Smite be played, then that is something you can do. But now let's get into it. Let's go into this. Where did I leave off? What page?
Page 20-ish.
Page 20 ish.
You left off at the chapter transition somewhere in here.
Okay. What chapter?
I don't know, the chapter transition around page 20. You'll know it when
Okay.
you see it.
So I do want to say there's one viewer here who, if they show up, we will have to go read the Fishing God because I promised it.
Yes.
If they don't show up, this is fine though. Real quick,
Yeah,
could
it's
you
very
entertain the
typical.
viewers for a moment while I go do something?
Herkabity, herkabity, herk, hork.
Okay. Oh wow, we dropped down. This is fan fiction. It's not fan fiction. All right, Akardi will be practicing some Iron Harvest tomorrow. It's on my agenda. If you're around,
Is it going to be on the stream?
maybe it will. I'll be right back.
Bring the good old bugle boys, will sing another song. Sing it with a spirit that will move the world along. Sing it like we used to sing it 50,000 strong. While we were marching to Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So
Whoa.
we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the
Are you
sea.
singing
Well,
going down to Georgia? Why?
yes, yes.
I mean, we hate Confederates, but like I'm sorry, I feel like I should say this. If you're a white supremacist, this is not a channel for you. I hope I'm not alienating any of my viewers because if you write
Breaking
Lego,
news, Grapes is driving all the KKK members away from his channel.
good. Lego, if you write a fan fiction of me, as long as it is not too smutty, I will read it on stream. Like you can have I don't make it horny. What is a Confederate? We're not I guess I could so they were the South in the Civil War, were the Confederates. Um they are said not publicly. Don't even say that. He, um we don't like white supremacists. I hope this
Wow, to the south in the land of traders,
Snakes
rattlesnakes and
and
alligators.
alligators right away. Right away. Right
Well,
away.
Dixon. We'll go down to Dixie
We'll
or
call
away.
You're so loud. You have to remember you're as loud as I am now.
I know, that's the point. I'm fucking screaming it over here.
Oh no, bro. The number one sub slot is open right now. I feel like I have to shell out a little bit. The number one sub spot is open right now. Okay. So we're gonna start reading. We're gonna start reading. Oh no, bro. Do you know who else likes subs? Hang on. Oh no, bro. You know who else likes subs? My mom! I have been
Someone clip
complimented
that, please.
on hydrate. I have Coke. It's not hydration, but alright.
Crepes, you literally just you Crepes, you just told Sen this morning that you don't sell cocaine, and you're consuming
Diet
cocaine on
Coke!
street.
Diet Coke. Made by the Coca Cola bottling company. And all of its substituents. Yes. They heard that, by the way. Yeah. It's fine. I'm a little loud, chat. I'm a little loud. We're a little loud, chat. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna sit down and stretch.
Akari says, little did Crepe know, it was 1930s coke.
Hang on. Mm. I know why people buy those stretch things. I've seen the stream, Sen. I know what you're after. Okay. Unnamed officer. Soviet submarine. Dozu 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 Salka. Dozu Salka. Yeah, Akardi, I heard you. Don't worry. We'll play on tomorrow. We'll go tomorrow. We'll go. We'll do it. Narrator. The missile rose from the depths in its cocoon of air. Oh, hang on. The officer glanced nervously at the array of screens before them. The commander, the commissar, even the admiral of the entire Red Fleet had given their approval. The time was now. He turned his key. The Doge beside him did the same. It was done. Authorization codes, coordinates, all had already been programmed into the system. All there was to do now was wait. Strings of data pouring across the screens as the first stage boosters fired. Alright, is that a new stretch?
Sun's just blowing all of their stuff, all of their money on stretches right now.
I guess I can't tell if they're doing it because it's funny or they like the sound of me stretching. Hang on,
Oh
you
god.
guys know do you all know Moon Knight?
Who?
Moon Knight, the
I have
show.
never heard of them before.
All right, please tell me in chat you know who you know about Moon Knight. Moon Knight. It's like the Disney Plus show. I'm trying to find the song. The Every day I wake up. Uh, I'm gonna as a part of a funny. Is it Man Without Love? Is that the song, Lego? Hang on. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I hang on. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Cairo.
Cairo gift stop.
I think you need to realize. So, chat. I'm going to be putting a Man Without Love from Moon Knight on loop for the entire
What does that
time.
mean?
It's a song. Essentially, Sen, you no longer have ads for a month. Thank you, Cairo. Means the world. The missile rose from the depths of the ocean in its cocoon of air, floating upwards until it popped from the water. The rocket motor went off, trailing plasma as it arced into space, changing course as it reached the apex of its arc, skipping across the roof of the atmosphere before plummeting back to whence it came. It plunged towards the ground, warhead splitting open as a rain of submunitions and decoys dropped into the ground below. The submunitions guided themselves to target MIRVs at work, and they hurtled down to Earth, leaving a spread of mushroom clouds for all to see. And now it was clear, written in the earth, burned into the craters. A new age of warfare had begun, and the Union had just fired the first shot. How'd you like
Would you
that?
say this is an overly detailed description of a nuke?
No.
No?
In fact, can you pause? Yeah, we'll stop reading.
Why is Sen brushing their teeth to this stream?
I'm honored. How did you like that? How did you like someone reading your work? Is that how you imagined it when you wrote it?
I I mean, it's amazing. It's an experience.
I'm glad. No, if you want my honest opinion as a writer, as a fellow
Yeah,
writer,
sure.
make it more detailed.
Yeah.
Make it slower.
Do you want me to fucking make it like Lord of the Rings details or some
No,
shit?
just that paragraph about the nuke should feel suffocating. And then end suddenly. I love that. I love that it ends very quickly. it should feel incredibly slow and then sudden. What? Okay, that was shown on stream. Oh, an anonymous gifter. Okay. We have a hype
Ooh.
train. We have a hype train going, chat.
What does it mean?
We have a hype train. I have no idea. There's a hype train. There's
Does it mean it causes an asthma attack? Is that what it means?
Haven't hyped yet. He died. I do die. I am alive. I am, ladies and gentlemen. I'm okay.
Did you know that if you die in Florida, you die in real life?
Now it's hyped. We're hyping. We're 69% there. Nobody hype anymore. Nobody. Let it die. Let it die. It's 69%. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, chat. We're at 69% hype. Man without love is still going strong. Now, let's continue. A new age of warfare. Shut. The Revolutia Doze class are a class of Shivit battle cruisers armed with guns and missiles designed to fill in for larger battleships where their greater capabilities are unnecessary. That's like a very detailed ship.
Yeah.
Romlemnov. Oh, Romlemnov. Vlados.
Crypt is
They
just
got worse.
fucking
They got
dying over
harder.
here.
They got harder.
What does that mean?
Vladozumirovich Palace. Shibir Kornevov Station. 41192. 1339 hours. The Tsar watched as Shoborensky shuffled into the room, grim-faced as he relayed the news. Sir, we strongly believe the Reds have deployed nuclear weapons on their own lands. The majority of Keto forces in the area have been wiped out. He did a double take. Nuclear weapons on their own territory? Surely the Reds had gone mad. He supposed it did make sense in a way. They had landed far from any areas of value, and the Reds would have had greater issues than a patch of irradiated permafrost if they had let their forces stay. This was a major setback in the invasion plans. Still, they couldn't afford to delay the landings any further. The plans were extremely time sensitive, pivoting their ability to establish forward bases before the Red reinforcements could arrive and crush their airheads. Should I prepare our warheads for lunch, sir? Yes, asked Shoborensky, nervously glancing around the room. The Tsar leaned forward, putting a paw to his muzzle, deep in thought. No, not now. We cannot afford to play out. Typo. To play our hand. Not yet. The raids will see us coming. Their radars and satellites will see to that. But our allies, the
Honestly, I should probably
Katos.
just have like the text file open in the corner and just like change every single typo as you find it.
So much Discord. Oh, yeah, can you guys hear those? Charge! Hang on, I have to read through chat real quick. Cairo killing the creeps references.
Creeps references.
I I cannot speak Russian fluently. Oh God. Oh yeah. Give the fans what they want. The Reds will see us coming. Their radars and satellites will see to that. But our allies, the Ketos, should be able to fight alone for some time longer, given your support. Shoborensky nodded, saluting before walking out of the room. The Tsar relaxed. Sinking back into the chair, he pawed at the sheaf of papers before him, glancing down at the stack of reports. The vanguard of their forces was ready, but their support was far from prepared. Perhaps they were better trained than both Cato and the Red forces combined, and perhaps their equipment was far more advanced than anything the opposition fielded. But even then, their force was still minuscule, their numbers far from sufficient for the war they were fighting. Even the space
So,
fleet.
Crepes,
Yeah?
I would like to inform you that Akari wants you to chug a gallon of liquids.
Oh my god. Hang on. Alright, alright. If you all want me to go get. Alright, alright. Hang on. Please keep them entertained. Please talk for a little bit. Both of you. All of you. Don't scream singing, but like talk about the writing or whatever. I will be right back with water.
Let's see. I drove my Sarsen through your garden last night. Sing up there, I broke your front door down around at midnight. Sing up there, something's telling me, boy, you're avoiding me. And when I find you, I will run for you, will run for your tea. 'Cause I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new flak jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. We are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. My good friend Bertie, he's in the UDR, ooh are searching for weapons, he will go near and far, up around by Calais, you never find him there, oh, the only gun he'd get there is an arm like it is here, oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new flak jacket and a lovely
Lovely
khaki
khaki
suit.
suit.
And when we go on night patrol, we hold each
Holding
other's
other's
hands.
hands.
We
We
are the
are
British
the British
Army.
Army, and we're here to take your land. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I have Moon Knight theme song going in the background. I'm about to chug. God, I really am a character. All right. Yeah, let me. I will. I'll use a British accent sometime. Hang on. I don't know if you can hear the water or not. How much was that? It was half the bottle. Holy shit. For the people who are still alive. Okay. I drank half the water bottle. The next time someone does that, I'll drink the rest. Okay, let's get back
Is
to
that an
reading.
invitation?
No, no. God, fuck. We've been here for like. You all hate me. You all hate me.
Perhaps. Sen says you need your water.
Okay. So can I just comment on something though? The guy who's singing the Moon Knight song commented on his own video, his music video from 1968. Who's here from the show? I love that. How many hydrates did we get?
5 from Cairo this time. And 1 from Sen. So yeah, total 6 again.
Okay. Thank you. That's it's empty. Um, oh, that hurt. The coughs. Oh. For the first time in my life, I'm having allergies.
Man, and just having a water allergy.
Oh, even my wrist. I don't think you guys understand. I'm like a big guy, and not in the sense that I'm fat. I mean, I'm a little chubby, but like my chest, my lungs, my ribs, everything's big and wide. When I sneeze, my whole body seizes up and shudders. To the point where like my muscles are spasming in pain. I'm not allergic to water. Oh, no, no, no. Like pollen. The first time in my life I've been allergic to like pollen. The first spring I've ever been miserable. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to reading. Also, shout out to Engelbert Humperdinck. Oh my god, that's his name. I, j- I do. I do remember marching band. I'm not in it next year. They didn't accept me. So, also, whoever sent that pasta check earlier, I have checked it. All right, let's get back into reading. Where was I? Yes, even the space fleet, the pride of the Empire, remained woefully small compared to the Red counterpart. The navigation computer that they had captured from the Reds had been booted off of the network a few hours ago, and despite their best attempts, they had been unable to get it back online. Some steps had been taken to boost recruitment, drawing ever more Doges into the Empire's armed forces, but still, there were only so many eligible candidates for selection, and the Imperial force would likely never be able to match what its peers at number. Instead, they would have to strive for quality over quantity. Whether in trading, arms, or tactics, they would have to perform at their finest to win the war, but training could only get one so far. Imperial ground forces hadn't seen action well over a century, not since their escape from the Rodina. He looked over the reports again. Imperial funded resistance cells continued to crop up around former Gabelandia. Okay. A small number even appearing in the Shivat hinterland itself. Even if they were quashed long before the Empire could hope to make contact, a number of these cells had even banded together, raiding Shivat outposts in the great Gabelandian countryside. Others, of course, had been less fortunate, crushed by red attempts at retribution. But if all went to plan, what was left of these forces would eventually stage a coordinated assault in tandem with major Imperial deployments, one great bid to destroy the Reds, to reclaim what was theirs. But that was exactly the issue. If he couldn't predict the future, only hope it all went to plan. Mlemskovich. Oh, have fun. I hope dishes go well for you, Cairo.
Did you just tell someone to have fun washing the dishes?
I do. I turn on music and just go for it, baby.
Fair enough.
That's literally how I do everything in life. Music goes, I'm just able to go with it. Without love. Every day I wear it out. Out. One moment, chat. Have to respond to a text. Okay. Music is life. That is true. Okay. Mlemskovich, Imperial Cruiser, Tsarevich, 41192, 1192 hours. Oh, hey! You got lazy with the numbers, didn't you? The Admiral stared
Yes. Yeah,
nervously at
probably.
the Admiral stared nervously at the screens before him, panting slightly. God, right, they're dogs. They pant. I hate. Okay. Panting slightly in the. That's good writing. You're just reminding me that I'm talking about dog people. Panting slightly in the uncomfortably hot room, the ship quietly stood its vigil behind the asteroid. All non-core systems had shut down and the radiators closed. Their destruction of the enemy vessel had, of course, been followed up by a vicious red counterattack. The Imperial fleet quickly breaking up and vanishing into nooks and crannies of the asteroid belt, the rings of rubble mapped out by the drones which had constantly worked the Empire's mining operation. He found their
A
charts to be
shout out to the
some.
fact that Crepes just like completely forgot this was entirely about dog puns.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, have there
I
been
mean, like,
ads?
I'm not sure.
Someone in chat.
I mean, both Sen and Kai. Crepes, everyone in chat right now is subscribed except Lego.
Oh. I guess it doesn't matter then. Well, no, I'm not. I guess it doesn't matter, right? I just
I
hoping
mean,
Legos enjoying the show. Anyway.
also like
Wait, are you
I'm confused how
subscribed?
you've managed to. I'm confused how you managed to like forget this entire thing was about dogs when there's literally a dog pun every like two
Respectfully?
sentences at
Well,
least.
Lego, most people that sub to me use their one free Amazon Prime sub a month. I'm not expecting you to pay money.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking if ads are playing. Well, by the way, Lego, thank you for the music name. I don't know the name of the song. I've just been listening to it on loop. I'm going to for this entire stream. It makes reading this story very different. I suggest you listen to A Man Without Love lyrics video by Engelbert Humperdinck. Doge.
What?
Just play this like in some headphones while you're here. It's A Man Without Love lyrics video by Engelbert Humperdinck.
What the hell is
1968.
that name?
I have no idea, but it's a good song, and I'm just listening to it on loop while reading your story.
I mean, where's the link? I don't have a link to it.
There is no link. I just search it up in YouTube.
That's effort.
Oh, sounds like a stage name. It probably is. It's a good one. I like it. Now, he found their charts to be somewhat inaccurate. This section of the belt had run dry long ago. The newest maps of the area, between 1 and 5 years old, and with the asteroids being what they were, they had shifted nearly completely, leaving him with only the spotters posted to the ship's various observation decks and cameras. They couldn't risk activating their lidar. Okay. It's just
I mean, do
radial.
you not know what a lidar is?
I don't know what a lidar is.
Um,
I
you
know
should
what.
Google it. It's fancy.
Okay. Their lidar arrays broadcasting was akin to suicide with the enemy this close. Supposedly there was a red mining platform in the area, but the field had been played out long ago, and any hostile miners would likely have been moved to greener pastures years ago. More concerning was the swarms of scouts the pursuing red flagship had sent after them. Even with numbers, they stood no chance against the red battleship. Taking down the enemy cruiser had proven even enough of an undertaking. With the battleship's superior armor and redundancy, he doubted they could even scratch it. Fortunately for them, however, the enemy scouts were slow, taking their time as they scanned their surroundings, beaming back findings to the mothership. He hoped this would leave them enough of an opening to get out of this. He supposed if all else failed, he could always give the order to open fire, but that would take time. He couldn't waste if he wanted to get out of this. Their attempts at masking their thermal signature had proven effective so far, but had the rather unfortunate side effect of the ship's interior itself turning into a giant heat sink, pushing their surroundings somewhat above comfortable temperatures. But their patience seemed to have paid off, the red behemoth turning to scan some other sector? Or factor. Pardon me? Oh, is his name actually Humperdinck? That's so cool. That's so cool. The interior was sweltering, ever more heat getting pent up within the hull. He ordered the radiators opened, releasing flares of heat into the space around the ship. Heat pumps working overtime as the ship cooled down. He pondered his options, resolving to return to Kornevov, the endless stream of charts and numbers before him steadily climbing as the ship's reactors and engines reached full output. The war was still young, but the Imperial crews had been put through their paces, and they deserved some R&R if nothing else. Shobensky. Keketi. Slavny Dozu. 41192. 12:13 hours. Contact. Bearing 259. Unknown signature. Shobenetsky jolted awake, acceleration pushing him further into the chair as the ship gained speed, engines spewing plasma and charged particles. The field cleared around them, the last of the asteroids bouncing off the spacecraft's hull. He blinked the sleep from his eyes as he looked toward the panoramic screens around him, seeing a lone vessel against the inky darkness of space. He was unsure what it was. A sharp prow jutted prouting from a boxy hull, its bizarre dish-shaped superstructure covered in heavily racked radiator stacks. He gave the order to fire, waiting for the inevitable electric crack as the supercapacitors discharged their energy, but the light show never happened. Sir, we can't get a lock. What do you mean you can't get a lock? Shelbensky asked in dismay. The ship isn't showing on our sensors, sir. Switch to manual targeting. Da, sir. Was wrong. His actual name is Arnold George Dorsey. Okay, but Arnold George Dorsey is also freaking awesome. I don't know why I don't like to curse too much, chat. Wake up, in the world, wake up. Here's a land without love. I can't sing. Every day I shout out, heart out. Here's a man without love. True though. I like this song though. Anyway, Shobensky watched the camera feed as the ship's myriad myriad barrels works, focused onto one spot, but just as the guns were ready to fire, the turrets were pelted with a series of massive energy spikes, temporarily disabling their cameras. He gave the fire order anyway, the guns blazing away with Abaddon at an unseen foe. Just as fast as they had come, the energy spikes died down, leaving nothing but empty space before them as the static faded from the displays. Thwarted once again, he thought dejectedly as the battleship turned back towards home. It would be a long trip back, an even longer meaning trying to justify their consistent failures. Oh, the stool. Just think,
Gaming
chat.
stool gang.
Chat, soon enough, I'll be doing this stream in a whole other city.
Is the gaming stool coming with you?
God, no. I'm gonna use a chair. Bordakov. Capsule 7. Somewhere in space? One. Oh, whew. Whew. Okay. 1192. Two. Woof. Okay. Darkness. Emptiness. Silence. Blankness. The scientists and stargazers could call it what they wanted, but whatever you called it, it stared through the window at him, unblinking, always watching. He stared back. Nothing. He was hoping they would find something this time, but hadn't that same hope been there the last 20 times they had looked? The last 20 times he hadn't seen anything? He breathed a shallow breath. The air was thinning. Even with the CO2 scrubbers working away at full capacity, there was only so much oxygen in the tanks, and their pressure had dropped nearly to atmospheric levels. They didn't have that long left, not without help. They had only a few days of food and water remaining, even without considering their dwindling air supplies. Was it a bad way to die? He ranked it at the top of the list. He reckoned the rest of them did too. He dropped the topic. As true as they might prove in the near future, prophecies of doom wouldn't do them any good. But it kept creeping into his mind over and over, like some damned parasite that he could never get rid of himself of. The thought of dying in a claustrophobic pod, suffocating with 5 others, perhaps starving, probably dehydrated and frozen for the rest of time as they drifted through space. Stop it! Hang on. They're Russian. Stop it! What? We all know what you're thinking. We've all done it. No sense making it worse. Borkov looked toward the source of the noise. Shobrinsky, a fellow guard, one of the few to reach the pods before the advancing Katos had forced it to launch. The lucky few. Perhaps they would have been better off if they'd all died at the station. A quicker death, perhaps, more painless than suffocating or starving or freezing. He curled up further, leaning against the wall of the capsule. It was cold. They had to keep the heating low. What meager power the solar panels generated was largely going into broadcasting the distress signal far into space. He closed his eyes, trying to drift into sleep, save some air, extend their time just a little. And so the capsule drifted aimlessly through space, a forlorn ship sailing for forlorn hopes. They would try to keep movement to a minimum, trying to preserve what air they had, but it would prove a fine balancing act. Move too much and they'd run out of oxygen far too quickly. Too little and they may well have frozen where they lay. Still, the transponder continued to chatter away, beaming coordinates and information out into the murky dark void. A last hope for rescue that to the survivors may never have come. Lemskovich.
I think I'm actually quite happy with that. Like one bit. It's one of my I think it's like one of the better parts of the book actually, like writing wise.
It This is weird to say because in a literary sense it in no way should come after. But I feel like that moment of desperation would fit really well out after like the nuke. Like coming back to him in the pod. Like really hammer home the depression and like the sad. You know what I mean? As like a moment
Yeah,
because like that's the guys in the pod from earlier in the book and they don't get resolved right here. Like they aren't resolved right here. This is like another combat thing. So this doesn't get resolved here. And it is really good writing. I like it. But I think including it like over here, like earlier, maybe earlier, closer to the nuke. Closer to the nuke, if that makes sense.
yeah. I
In my
mean, like
opinion.
I guess, but like for me, it was more like, okay, so we just did the nuke thing. So let's go like do the response to the nuke for the other side first, and then after that we continue with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't know. I like it. I do like it. I guess it is right after the nuke. I guess I'm. It is right after the nuke, but yeah. Anyway, I like it. Not Mlemskovich. Lemshin, Mlemshinkov. Mlemshinkov. I can do this. Northwestern approach. Shiptsk. Ship. Kutsk. Shipkutsk. Kutsk. I can't. 11/11/92. 02:19 hours. The radio sounded a warble. Oh, a warbled voice cutting through the din of the constant artillery barrage. Pardon me. Attention, comrades. We have received reports of enemy vehicles in the area. Friendly armor will be unable to respond in the near future. Prepare to repel attack. Wait, these are the Reds. What's the name of the Red leader? Is he the Premier?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For the Premier. I feel like they'd end their radio broadcasts with that. Anyway. Their instructions were clear. Their odds, less so. Yeah. Yeah, these are the guys where they dropped the nukes. Holy shit. Their instructions were clear. Their odds, less so. Despite the blast crater-sized hole the Shiviots had left in their plans, Kato forces had still managed to force the Doges to retreat back to Shipkutsk. Ah! And he doubted the appearance of enemy armor
It's
was a
just
coincidence.
dying trying to read that one word.
I hate it! I hate it! They're not sounds that belong together! Shiv and then Kutsk. Kutsk.
For the dog pun script.
That's not a dog pun! That's just putting the word Shiv there! It doesn't need to
Yes.
be there!
It's all for the shitpost value. Shush.
Screech! Site of historical battles, major supply hub. The lakeside city of God, put it. Shipkutsk stood to be the last bastion of the Shibiot forces in the Central East. But most importantly, or so he had been told, it had formed the last obstacle in the way of Kato control of the Trans-Siberian. Okay. Of the Trans-Siberian. The city's guns had been pounding for hours, howitzers, cannon, firing in unison. A single choir of death and destruction from the parks, from the fields, from the mountains, having it flowing with supplies and ammunition. Lemskovich, Lemshinkov. There's a guy named Lenskovich, too. Lemshinkov.
I mean, Lemskovich is literally on the other side. It's not even on the same side.
I know, but it's a similar name. I'm sorry. That'd be like having Igor and Igor. They're very similar.
They're completely different names.
They both start with the word mlem, and then mlemsovich, mlems.
Crepes, you just can't fucking read.
I will not sit here and have my ability to read be questioned by someone whose work I'm struggling to read. This is your fault.
Sure it is, mate. Sure it is.
Watched as the enemy. It is literally your fault. You're the one with the spelling errors. Mlemshinkov watched as the enemy forces began cresting the hill. Distant specks of black and white against the green tint of night vision, still too far out for him to hit. But the artillery had no such problems. The symphony of shell fire reaching its crescendo as high explosives rounds plunged into the ground. A flare shot into the sky as the enemy force entered range, the night vision flashing white before the goggles compensated. Pulling the bulky set off, he blinked, eyes adjusting to the constantly changing light. The long-expected enemy tanks began rolling into range. They seemed to be lighter models, nothing close to the great Shibivit heavies he had seen in the parade grounds. An anti-tank gun fired in the near trench, the night sky lighting up with crackles of electricity as the Shibivit lines opened up. The Kato tanks returned fire, shells catering the ground before the trenches, walking ever close as the enemy gunners dialed in their guns. Lemchenkov ducked as a shell whizzed overhead, slamming to the ground behind him. He got up, fired another burst into the red-tinged darkness before him. Those to his left and right followed, a constant cacophony of exchanging fire. The enemy infantry closed in, hosing down the Chivot lines with their submachine guns. For each they cut down, two more took their place. Machine guns blazed into the enemy horde, seemingly to little effect. One of the officers stood, blowing their whistle, motioning to retreat before getting shot through the neck by a Kato bullet. And such was their conundrum. Leave the trench and be shot, or stay and be shot anyway. Not the most appetizing of choices, he mused. The Katos had almost reached the lip of the trench when he heard the planes flying overhead. Bombs fell from the sky, punching great craters in the advance of the enemy. Yet more machine guns joined in the chorus as the orbiting aircraft strafed the Katos. And the air support they had so yearned for had arrived, not a second too late. Walls of flame crisscrossed the battlefield, fire welling up from the ground as napalm took light. He fired long bursts into the Katos, the barrel of his rifle red hot, recoil pressing into his shoulder. More and more of the enemy tanks went up, tall pyres reaching skyward as they punctuated the scene before him. He held down the trigger. Chop, chop, chop. Was that the man or the gun beside him? Kept the trigger down. There were Katos dropping before him, at least that's what it looked like. Chop, 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 chop. Still going? Or had the bolt in his gun locked to the rear long ago? He didn't know. Kept going. And it was over in what felt like 5 minutes, really. Mmm, oh, come on. Ah. I don't know if any of you like what I'm doing. I don't know if any of you found that to be an entertaining scene, but the five, my one, that five should just be minutes. And then probably longer. I love it though. Really, probably longer. I'm gonna read it. Probably closer to 30. Expended casings and charges littered the trenches. Probably easier to step on a pile of those than solid ground at this point. He blinked, the haze of fog cast over the battlefield vanishing as he did. Looked at his rifle. Um, you need. These are okay. Uh, as a fellow writer, I like them, but right here, as they're like closing down, I think you shouldn't do one. They're like here, still going, kept going. Um, I like those up here. They're very nice in this like really intense portion. But as you're winding it down, I think it should be a he looked at his rifle. It's kind of like a throwback. It's still shorter. It's like these shorter sentences, but they're not cut. They're not stressed and like jarring, which fits really well in these paragraphs right here. Anyway, sorry, I'm a writer at heart. Simplifying is brevity. It's not just simplify. It's like knowing the pacing, and it's good. I just think that moment at the end would benefit from not having it. I hope I'm entertaining enough.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. Like, I mean, the problem with just like writing stuff and editing stuff on your own is that you sort of just like don't notice a bunch of this stuff because it's sort of
Exactly.
just like there.
No, that's why I'm happy to help. But like this looked at his rifle shouldn't be that kind of jarring thing you had going on up here, which is good. I like it up here. It works. I just don't think it works in this final paragraph as you're trying to close. He looked at his rifle. The furniture had melted. The furniture?
I mean, like, I know that Crepes doesn't understand like gun people words. You Honestly, I think this is just still going to be better. It's just like ask a Toadist or something. They're going to know.
Okay. I will ask him. Bad government? Vote them out. Oh, 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 I misread that. I misread that. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Quick break to check the pools of messages on Discord I had. A lot of them are foxes. I wonder who sent those. Ladies and gentlemen, do you enjoy my reading? Have you enjoyed this? We're not done, but are you not entertained?
I mean, I'm
This
appreciating it because like you're the only person I've actually been able to convince to actually read this thing.
I love it. I want to I it's good for me cuz I want to write military like fiction, but I'm not a gun nerd. So it's sometimes hard and it's good to get
Yeah,
this.
yeah. You just need to get like a Toad to co-write it and co-write for you.
I don't want a co-writer. I just need someone to like go talk to about lingo. Anyway,
Fair
the
enough.
furniture
Yes.
melted off. He swore loudly to nobody in particular, except maybe the unit quartermaster. But he was out of but he was out of earshot anyway. This is going to be a fun one to explain. Borknikov. Oh shit, it's this guy. Wait, is it this guy? No, that's the place, not the. No, that's Borkov, and this is Borkno Borkorov. Okay. Nakom 2, low planetary orbit. 11/11/92. Oh, 4 hours. Incompetent fools! Oh, sorry, hang on. Incompetent fools. One moment.
I was born in Dublin Street where the royal drums did beat, and those loving
None of
English
that.
feet they
Nope.
walked along.
I'm back. Sorry.
Is Cribs experiencing asthma attack?
I got handed popcorn, and it's dry, and it's sticking in my throat, but it's good. So,
That sounds terrible.
how are you enjoying it, Lego? Am I entertaining? No offense to Acardi or Doge, but Lego is probably the most. How many accounts has he made? 6?
At least two.
More than that.
Not enough.
The fact that more than 10% of my followers are probably just you means that it's enough. But I love you, and I will always appreciate you. Lego. You and your alligator. He sighed, glancing longingly at oh, pardon me. The bottle of cheap liquor? Oh, cringe. Cheap liquor stored away in the corner. I even knew he needed it. The weapon for his own sake, or to drizzle it over the corpse of the cat of war. Oh, shit. He had watched in dismay as the superior Cato forces were effortlessly crushed by the red defenses. The Sheepgut's pocket had been successfully cut off from resupplying by anything short of a great airlift, and the Morans had failed to even capitalize on that. Even with leadership, he put at least comp. Oh,
Just like a casual, massive burn in,
yeah,
in, in like the first paragraph.
yeah. He would have put at least incompetent. They should have been able to force at least a small victory, casualties notwithstanding. Instead, he'd failed. Instead, they. Me being an ass. Instead, they had failed at even this, thwarted by what should have been an
Please keep
exhausted.
being an ass. I need to fix these.
Should have been an exhausted red defense. In his books, yeah, but I don't have to highlight them red on a public stream. Anyway. In his books, this bumped unified Cato command up to downright suicidal. If only that number had been Imperial regulars, it would have been so much easier if it was, wouldn't it? But if onlys would get him nowhere. The Imperial army was still not ready, and what was done was done. He couldn't change the past, only shape the future. He pulled his handheld off his belt before punching in the number sequence he remembered. Hello, welcome to Shibanov's Pie Emporium. May we take your order? His face scrunched up, baring teeth before he steadied himself, pulled the card out of pocket. Ah, so that was a 7. I like that though. That moment of humor. It's good. That's good. This is getting not yellow. I think a light blue. It's a light blue moment, chat. He punched the numbers in again, correctly this time. A moment of static, a series of beep, then a voice.
The tactical
Light.
funny.
A free agent of sorts, or at least as close as you get these days. Gavrin. The Hektonen. G103. Receiving. Good day, sir. Good day. Sir Polkonek. How may I help you today? I believe we may require your assistance. What for? The Cato offense is failing. We are unable to commit our forces at the present moment. Find us somewhere to set down, or better yet, prop up the Cato war effort and leave us out of this entirely. You will be compensated adequately once the war is won. You understand I cannot work on contingency. We can discuss this once money is on the table. Should you succeed, consider your debt to us paid. Fail us, and we may very well have to repossess that fancy new ship of yours. Of course, you will still be entitled to any red craft you capture on the way. Sensed into the system's greatest power, his imperial paymasters and the shivets they had tasked him with combating, not exactly what he's hoping for. He'd have to get on the ground too. not just to sabotage some power plant or assassinate some mid-level politician, but pioneer an entire spaceborne landing. Fuck, man, what do they expect from this guy? Holy shit. Blue Moment 4? I don't know. Comedy? I liked it. I liked it. It's a blue moment.
The funny.
Risky. Very risky. He would not have taken it if he had any choice in the matter, but he'd been backed into a corner. It started as a simple way to make a quick buck all while sticking it to the Shevet Colossus, which had annexed his homeland. It quickly turned to a near dependency on the Imperial black budget, and all that it accorded him. They seemed to hold all the cards, the Imperials, including the very ship he was currently on board, the Hectonian 1, one of the Imperial Darzevich class cruisers, or so he was told anyway. He'd never seen another one of the thing before, but completely off the books, assembled from a most definitely not suspicious order of a space. Oh, not suspicious order of a spare for every part needed to be built in a new ship, save for ever mysterious Imperial jammers. But they could take it back at any time, and he could not afford to let that happen. He had given up freedom of operations for fancy new Imperial toys. Nothing could be done about it now, except maybe the successful completion of this mission. Gabran, to all units. We leave in a day! Oh, it's this guy again. He gets sad pink. Sorry, guy.
I love how you didn't even like highlight one of the letters.
Capsule 7. Somewhere in space. 12/11/92. Holy shit. Oh, okay. The radio hissed static. Nothing. Time was running out. He glanced toward the pressure gauge across the pod. 11 hours. One of the carbon dioxide scrubbers had given away long ago. He silently cursed the procurement officer who had approved the system's installation. The other scrubber would last them a few days more, but they'd all run out of oxygen by then anyway. He reached for the frequency knob, gave it another twist, combing through broadcasts once again. Static. Wait, what was that? He gently twisted the knob over again. There, spoken word. Shivetsky, Soyuz Broadcasting, requesting identification from any vessels in the area. Unidentified vessels will be boarded and searched. Borkov reached for the microphone with enthusiasm he hadn't had in days. Pardon me. Anyway, Borkov reached for the microphone with enthusiasm he hadn't had in days, set the device to broadcast with all the power the capsule still had available. Shivetsky Soyuz, are we glad to see you? Acknowledged, moving in for pickup. Apologies.
Crepes, do you need to hydrate?
No. I just need
You
to.
sound like you need to hydrate, Crepes.
No, I don't. Telling you now, I won't do any hydrates you send right now. Ah. Oh. Yeah, there we are.
When are we getting the Crepes Does Yoga stream?
Once I feel confident enough that people want to see my body for money. Anyway. KKD. Shevetsky Soyuz. 1534 hours. The doors cracked open with a pneumatic hiss. As Borkov boarded the larger ship, he took the chance to stretch slightly, tail thumping against the chamber walls. Even the airlock chamber on the battleship felt spacious compared to the claustrophobic capsule. Safe, at last. The station survivor walked deeper into the ship. Borkov took a chance to look at some of the news bulletins coming through the communication systems. It seemed that the Catos hadn't managed much while he had been away, their advance seemingly having been stopped by the Motherland's stalwart defenders. But the news wasn't all good. In a supposed major engagement, the Union had lost a small number of ships, while the enemy had supposedly paid the price of the loss of yet another vague number of their ships. No, I'm not going to proxy V2 model a yoga stream unless I do it in like VR chat, but I'm not going to get a VR set. So, hang on. Can we get a I'm going to give this like green for calling out war propaganda based. Of course, nobody knew if any of what they read was true. That was an open secret. The state propaganda mill. Yeah, more green. Based. Calling out the propaganda machine. He leaned against the wall, feeling the rhythmic vibrations of the turbines course through the ship. One of the others had managed to strike up a conversation with one of the crew. It seemed the Soyuz hadn't gotten to any battle since... hadn't gotten any battle since leaving port. The battleship is apparently to rendezvous with the Lemzin Borki class cruiser Shubvorov. Okay, which they were to transfer aboard in a few weeks' time when it arrived. But until then, they were at full liberty to enjoy the larger ship's full accommodations. While not quite as up to date as those on board the newer Slednia's Doz, or even the smaller Revolutio class battlecruisers, they still possessed a rather comprehensive set of amenities. All the comforts of home, built into whatever free space they could find on board the battleship. I think that's where we'll end the stream for today. Page 32.
I mean, we've been here for like an hour.
Yeah. If you want, if everyone wants me to keep reading, I'll go.
I mean,
I don't.
I'll take a look at the chat. I'll take a look at the chat's choice on that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like it's your book. Of course, you want me to read more of it, but I don't know how entertaining me reading a book for 2 hours is to people. My
I mean,
voice is
they
not.
seemed to be fine with it the last time, but you know, I'm biased.
What is it, ladies and gents? Want me to keep reading?
Cardi says it's up to you. Lego isn't saying anything. Sen has vanished.
Lego, we heard you for like half a second.
Did you need something?
I was asking if everyone wants me to keep reading.
Yeah, do it. It's great. I love it.
Okay, I feel like is that actually true? Or you okay?
Oh God.
You all right?
Lego is a magical experience.
You okay, Lego?
Yes, everything is just dandy.
I get the distinct impression that's not true. But if I'm entertaining you, then I guess I can continue. I have no idea how many times I've listened to this song by now. I guess every 3 minutes in this hour. Okay. Unnamed Imperial Commander. Imperial Cruiser. Tsarevich. 1311-92. 0318 hours. Contact, reported the watch officer over the bridge intercom. The Tsarevich had been recently redeployed after their last scrape with the Red forces, but it seemed they were now due for another meeting. The captain wrestled with the periscope controls, the ship's array of cameras turning to observe the colossus before them. The larger ship quite literally eclipsed them, painted black in some rudimentary attempt at camouflage. A single star was painted on its side, crimson red, marked by streaks and scratches where asteroid space junk and any number of other things had bounced off it. Shadow it. We're outgunned. Fair. Fair, random, unnamed captain. Uh, Yellow for fair.
According to Akari, Lego experience is the reverse Lego of stepping things, the dropping of things.
Maybe. I should totally be like an ASMR streamer. Get like one of those ear mics.
Give me all your money.
I don't know. I feel like I have a kind enough like voice that people with issues would like me. I'm so proud of you. You make me so happy. I just love being here with you right now. I mean, you make me the happiest man in the world. There's no one I'd rather spend a second with right now. Anyway. It's my dream to one day have people on the internet like I don't want people to treat me like an object, like a I don't want to just be horny. I want people to be like I want to be one of those internet people that people are like, I'm very sad you're not in my life aside from our parasocial relationship. Now, I don't need to be famous. I just want people to be upset that I don't exist in their actual life. That's like so selfish and arrogant of me, but like, it's a goal of mine.
I have just posted additional soundtrack for the crate.
Oh. I like that song, but I'm not listening to it. I'm busy listening to. See, these are like actually what I should listen to. Lego. You're gonna make me joke. I hope you're joking. I don't want you to tape my picture over your bed. Oh, hang on. Hang on, chat. I have to send something. You'll see it in a moment. So my friend recently did a redesign of our logo, and it's quite fantastic. I love it. It's amazing. There's your face to tape over your bed, Lego. Like in all fairness, though, that's not. Why? No, we don't. No, it's not. That's not the theme song to it. Okay. That is hair on top. That is hair on top. Um, and no, the person who made that does not watch Germa. Believe it or not, that is a total coincidence that bears any resemblance to famed streamer and eldritch being Germa.
They put the Master Chief in the shoulder.
Okay, but I love that though. Okay, let's go back to reading the book. I'm gonna turn my Moon Knight music back on. So I think the reason it bears is similar to like Jerma with his face turned into like the creepy smile is because the creep's face is a parody of like the creepy smile, the really elongated smile. So like this, that dumb looking face is like just a parody of it. And this picture is like a more professional, realistic looking like creepy smile with the creepy face. And then that's Jerma. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Warning chat. Jerma jump scare. Jerma jump scare. Minute 1 hour 21 minutes 53 seconds in. Jerma jump scare. I'm so sorry. I should have warned you. Now let's get back to reading dog puns. Anyway. Okay. Shadow it. We're outgunned. Came up.
Just out of curiosity, like how many loops of that song have you listened to so far?
Let me pull my calculator app out. So I'm gonna subtract about 13 minutes from the stream where I've had it off or haven't heard it. So that would be 73 divided by 3. I'm on like 25 loops of that song. I'm like loop number 25 right now.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Came the voice from behind him. The captain turned, casting a sharp salute toward the figure. The radio console squawked. The communications officer relaying this order to the request of the force. A trio of Radowski-class missile destroyers, a small squadron lay hidden inside the asteroid field, slowly creeping parallel to the enemy vessel. Spaceborne rocks thunked as the ships pushed them out of the way, stalking their prey in the interstellar darkness.
Bacardi says he's waiting for loop 1000.
I would have to stream for 3,000 minutes, which is 500 hours? Not my cup of tea. Mlemkutin. Ra ra Mlemkutin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really could.
Grape, you can't fucking sing. You actually can't fucking sing.
You haven't heard me actually sing though. You just heard me do.
I mean, are you not singing now?
No, not really.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm like a musician. I could probably. I don't know how many musical instruments you do, but I probably have an easier time singing than you. I
No,
play.
no, I can't do instruments like at all. I'm
Yeah,
bad at instruments.
I play. I play multiple instruments. Germa. Rara Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really was gone. Rara Rasputin.
Okay, so correct apparently to get to like 1,000 loops of the song, you're going to need to stream for 2 days and 2 hours straight.
Oh, okay.
That's a good deal, isn't it?
Lemkutin. The phone rang in the dead of the night. Lemkutin clumsily pawing at the receiver until he finally planted it haphazardly on an ear. Whoever was calling at this hour. Ah! Ah! At this hour? At this hour?
And do you have an issue?
Yeah, this hour. OUR. Better have had something important. Especially since it was one of the rare days off he could actually afford. Oh, it was one of the rare days he could actually afford to go to sleep earlier than 3 in the morning. Sir, I believe you have to see this. Whoever was on the other side of the line had left no indication of whatever it was worth waking him for. Especially with a war going on, sleep was sacrificed enough as it was. Still, he was obligated to at least look into whatever this was about, and likely send the offending caller to a penal battalion if it proved frivolous. Damn, that's a fucking badass man. To that effect, he pulled on a set of fatigues. He managed to execute from the depths of his wardrobe locker. He uncapped the flask of coffee, sat on his nightstand, taking a gulp, lapping up the remainder before he shuffled out of the room with it in his hand. But the sight before him would require less coffee and more so hard liquor. The enemy fleet projected onto the screen before him, almost leading him to drop the flask entirely. A large number of interplanetary class troop ships, escorted by several battleships and cruisers. Those, too, proved peculiar designs. They were certainly Cato craft, bearing the distinct flourishes and markings of the Union had thought themselves rid of, but there was something different to them, something new. He pulled up archived intelligence files on older Cato spacecraft, gazing upon them in alarm. These designs were new, unprecedented. Your orders, sir? Inform the Admiralty at once. The Grand Fleet must be dispatched to deal with this threat immediately. The Grand Fleet was, of course, nowhere near as grand as its name implied. The initial Cato showing had pummeled the number of ships back to their bases for repairs, even destroying the Dozlik Sandar Shibski. But the Mlemsk base was primarily intended for collection and dispersible intelligence, and he couldn't get ships refit any faster than they already were. Regardless, he took another sip of coffee, tail folding slowly between his legs. Comrade Admiral, you had better know what you're doing here. Ugh. Oh man. Okay.
Shout out to the fact that the General Cat Invasion Force is like mentioned once in this section, and I completely forget about it for the rest of the book, so it never comes up again.
That the cats are invading.
Well, I mean, no, the cats are invading. That's like a known thing, but like this is like a massive invasion force. It's just like never brought up again because I forgot about it.
You really should not do that, because I was
Yeah, I
excited to like
know.
I was excited. I was like excited like wow, the cats have new tech. Wow, that's so cool. I wonder where they got it. How does that relate to anything? And you're just like no, it's never mentioned again. So instantly, hang on. Instantly,
I mean, like the cats, like the cats do get new tech. It's okay. I guess it is sort of mentioned again. It's not like explicitly mentioned, but you know
red.
the
All of it
cats do
red.
get like new
All of
stuff.
it red.
Yeah,
Fix
fair
it.
enough. Fair enough.
Fix it. Fill your plot hole in. You know it's a plot hole! Fix it!
I know.
Ah!
Ah! Ah! Are we playing tic-tac-toe now?
That was awful. That was awful. Hang on. No, what? Yeah.
What are you even doing? What the fuck are you even doing at this point?
Okay. You called that with an O. I didn't see that. Let me.
Ah.
Okay. Fine. Then I'll go middle X. Your move, Acardi.
um, let's see.
I'm waiting.
Top left.
Top left. Oh.
Yes.
All right. Top right. Oh. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Top right. Yeah.
Okay. Game.
Yeah. Top center.
No, too late. You went top right again. You got two O's there. You weirdo.
Absolute great moment.
You put two O's up here. There's no illegal entry. You can put an O wherever the hell you want. No one's telling you. I could put another X here. Another one here. Or here. Put as many O's as you want. Just remember, everyone, it's important that you smile. Okay. Okay. Kiddings. Sheep. Ah! I hate it. I hate it. Shibkutsk. Outskirts. 141192. 0900 hours. The ground shook as the great howitzer let loose another round. Another gun went off somewhere to his left. Of course, getting the great siege weapons to position had been relatively easy, all things considered. With Cheviot space forces stretched as thin as they were, all thanks to Morau's own space forces, or so he had been told anyway, there was many an opportunity to smuggle equipment past the blockade. But the enemy still had tricks up their sleeves, an unceasing rain of counter battery, fire plunging into their positions. The enemy guns could not be silenced. Engaging and shooting and shoot and scoot tactics for the bulkier Kato guns, the far bulkier Kato guns were ill suited to. And so they would remain in place, and by the grace of Meow, they would withstand the enemy's shells, certainly as Morawians could. but he was less confident in the cadets who had manned the guns themselves. He had never trusted their capabilities in battle. The training they seemed to adore could never match the devotion of a true warrior. Meow. I love the cat people. So this is a different guy. This is Kittens. What was the name of the badass cat woman?
That's Pern.
Pern? Based. There was no value in questioning the hand with which Meow had dealt him. The first shells were landing in the east. He zoomed in on the Cheviot positions with his Imperial-made spotting binoculars. You could say what you liked about the doggish empire and their strange customs, but they certainly made good equipment. The shells had landed somewhere in the enemy rear, behind the hastily constructed battlements with which the Cheviots took shelter in. Perhaps they would do damage, or maybe they had landed them far from anything important. He couldn't tell. But what was done was done. He muttered a quick prayer to Meow before relaying the corrections for the guns. He sighed, breath venting from the ports in his suit, turning to mist in the cold winter air. They would be here for a while, as long as the city kept getting supplies. They couldn't stop those. The Cheviot armored trains carrying enough firepower to dislodge the Caddo force entirely if they ventured too close to the rails. There was no use shelling the rails either. Their entire length was littered with automated defenses and anti-ballistic systems. Perhaps if they destroyed the base at Vladivostok. No, that wouldn't stop the Cheviots. The trains would just come from the other direction. And there was still no doubt the enemy would fight tooth and nail for their far eastern outposts in any case. Still, it couldn't hurt if he passed the idea up. Perhaps something would come of it. Oh, come of it if Meow smiled upon them. But until then, it couldn't hurt to send more scouting force to the rails. Meow had plenty of willing martyrs. He could always use some more intel. Metal. Okay. I think this is a good moment, ladies and gentlemen. Here, and you know what? We'll finish. We'll do Shivanov. Somewhere among the Trans-Siberian, 1411-92, 1324 hours. Private Borkany Shivanov glanced at the battered clock hanging at the end of the rail car, held in place by what seemed like a mix of string and tape. 1324 hours. He leaned back in his chair, huddling closer to the radiator mounted on the wall. It was a wonder he had a chair at all. But he had been lucky enough to score a converted passenger car. Some of his other comrades had, of course, been less fortunate, getting boxcars or perhaps even the much maligned converted flat cars. But even with the plus of its passenger transport origins, the car was far from opulent. Only traces of paneling clinged to the walls, but at least it retained its insulation, a great help in fending off the biting cold of the Siberian wastes. A harsh voice barked a message over the intercom as the train rattled over the tracks. Attention, we are entering enemy territory. The enemy has stolen from us. Assume combat positions. The troops aboard groaned collectively as they heard the order, retrieving rifles, putting down cards, and cutting short conversations. They were all likely to be shot at any time for all he knew. Oh, this goes on. Well, all right. We'll wait here. We'll stop there. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for riding with me through this lovely... Okay. For this lovely narrative painted by our beautiful friend Doge. And as always, remember, stay happy, live healthy,
Rep
eat
on.
well, and creep on.